Cobra Kai Season 5. In short, I really liked it. I actually really liked it. I think it actually might be my favorite season of Cobra Kai. There's this other channel that I follow. It's this guy, Cody Leach, and he does a lot of reviews for horror movies and stuff like that. Love his channel. He said in his review for Cobra Kai Season 5 that it's actually his least favorite season because there's a lot of teen drama-y, it got taken to kind of a new level, and there's all these characters that they introduced that they don't know what to do with now. And I gotta be real with you, I wholeheartedly disagree. I also saw a thumbnail from Geeks and Gamers saying that Cobra Kai Season 5 went woke, and I'm like, ah, damn it. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he was just trolling. He actually really enjoyed it. This is part of the reason why I really do appreciate this show. It's actually kind of old school. Even when there's a joke on Johnny Lawrence's character, a Generation X kind of joke, White Claw, that sounds badass. It's endearing. It doesn't make them look like these awful people. What they are bringing to the kids, what they are teaching the kids, the discipline that they're instilling in them and teaching them to toughen up, that's something that I think is very much needed in this day and age. It's just a freaking story that appeals to two different generations very specifically. Season 1, I always held in very high regard, and seasons 2, 3, and 4, I all put in kind of the same category in that, yes, there is a fair decent amount of CW-esque teenage drama going on. And there were points throughout the course of the show where I would, roll my eyes or just be kind of ah, Jesus, that's really lame. But I get it, because it's not just for Xers, it's also for Gen Z. It brings them together. This is a show that parents can watch with their kids. Both of them get it, and both of them enjoy it. Imagine that. I give it just a matter of time before somebody finds something wrong with the show. Johnny's misunderstanding Spanish or something like that. Any nitpick. I'm really shocked that this show has made it as far as it has without getting ruined, but I'm also very happy that it's made it as far as it has without getting ruined. Terry Silver, awesome villain. I am so happy that they took the time to really set him up in the previous season, because in this one, he's just an evil SOB. The head of the serpent, essentially, that's what Chozen says. By the way, Chozen has a huge part in this season, and oh my freaking God, I love him, on par with Johnny. What great characters. And the fact that there is now this an alliance, there's even a great scene where Johnny and Chozen are hanging out, because they actually see eye to eye a little bit more than Daniel does. But they're talking about Daniel and how much of a pain in the ass he can be, but how he's a good man and he's honorable. But that just goes to show you that, in certain scenes, Daniel's hey guys, we need to chill out. And Chozen are Johnny, no, let's do this. Let's handle this now, kind of a thing. And that's the thing that I love about Chozen, because he's a man of honor now. He's very upset about his past. And Komiko, in one scene, Johnny actually calls her Kokomo, which is pretty funny. Yeah, just watch. That's going to be the thing that's going to tip people over the edge. Chozen kind of loves her, but he doesn't want to say anything because he's got he feels guilty about the way he treated her in the Karate Kid Part 2. But so much depth to the character. So much better, in fact, because in Karate Kid Part 2, Chozen was just a dick. But, in the show, you even see a little bit more of him when he was a kid and, Sato training him and shit like that. You get so much more depth to all these characters. They're perceived as humans, and yet they introduce a new villain, this lady who's, a kung fu master. She's basically the granddaughter of the guy who trained Terry Silver. But the thing that I like about her is she is totally corny, overly evil 80s villain. I love it, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. This is kind of like Samurai Jack Season 5. The stakes are up. This is a little bit more R-rated than the other seasons of Cobra Kai. There are some more F-words. That's not to say that there's an F-bomb everywhere, but I'd say that throughout the course of the season, they said it a good 10 to 15 times-ish, which is a lot more. Cobra Kai's always kind of maintained that, PG-13 kind of level. There's really life or death stakes at this juncture. And some violent things happen. I don't want to get into spoilers. I'm not going to ruin the season for you, but I will say that this has taken the show about as far as it can possibly go, in my opinion. One thing that worries me, and this is something that Cody Leach brought up that I am a little bit concerned about, is the fact that there are a few things to kind of insinuate that there's going to be a season 6. But there's a couple of people's like storylines that introduce something but don't really go back to it. There is a total like kind of, I don't know if you really call it a cliffhanger, but just sort of like a little, like, you know, a surprise ending on a horror movie, and then that's just it. That's where the movie ends, like, kind of like that. And I wish that they would leave it that way, even with the things that they haven't explained, even with the things that they haven't wrapped up. I really kind of wish that they would just stop it here, because they're in danger, I think, of going that extra step too far where it's like they just start recycling things. I don't know that, okay? I'm shocked with what they've done. These people are clearly ahead of the curve, but I don't particularly trust Netflix. I think that they're a greedy-ass corporation. I think that anything's a freaking cash grab, and I don't put it past them to milk this like straight up supernatural until it should have died 10 years ago, but it's still going somehow. They're probably a gnat's hair away from getting like Yakuza on the show or something like that. I mean, hell, maybe that's the direction they're going. I don't know. But I think that this season was epic. I liked that it was darker. I liked that it was more violent. I liked that it was a little bit more R-rated. I love what they've done with all the characters. I think everything has come full circle, and this would be a good place to stop. Will I still watch a Cobra Kai Season 6? Absolutely. But I probably would approach it with a very hefty dose of skepticism, honestly. Cobra Kai Season 5, guys, if you haven't watched it yet, has my fullest recommendation. And if you're, you know, because I've talked to a couple people, they're like, oh, I made it just past the second season or something. Keep watching. So suffer through the teenage drama to get to this, because even like the teenage drama that's in the movie, it's to the point, things get fixed. I'm not going to lie, Daniel and Johnny were their drama was kind of starting to annoy me in the 4th season. In this one, they're working together. A lot of the kids squash their beefs, and where the kids are coming from about these varying issues makes sense. Robbie used to kind of piss me off a little bit. He used to be kind of like a wet rag. He did that like puppy dog eyebrow thing that he does, and I'm sort of like, oh, come on, man. Like, all right, yeah, we get it. You're a good kid behind all that anger and angst and aggression. I think that the kid's grown as an actor, and I also think that his character has been given a lot more to do now, but he's actually quite likable. And to see a lot of people who you've been rooting to work together now working together, again, full circle, it feels complete. It's my favorite season of Cobra Kai. Let's hope that they stop it here, but I kind of feel like they're not gonna. Anyways, guys, anything that I forgot to mention, definitely let me know. And that's all she wrote.